The Blended Lives program was brought to the Leon County School System by Altamise Barnes and Larry Paulberg. And Altamise is the executive director for the John G. Riley House and Museum. And Larry was the executive director for the Goodwood Museum and Garden. And suggested that we become their partner in trying to develop an educational program that would capture the history and the heritage of Leon County School, and that those two agencies would be the partners with the Leon County School System.
It was a parallel that existed, a commonality or relationships that existed both between Larry and myself and our authentic historic sites that led us to say, well, we should lead the way and model how museums of different perspectives, different origins, different operating staff, if you will, can come together to present a program that would be of benefit for the entire community.
And at that time, Senator Bill Munford was the superintendent, and he agreed that this would be a good thing, but we should start in the early grades so that when students have a tendency to learn something early, they remember it, and you could have an opportunity to do a real impact in terms of history.
It was filling a void that we knew existed, and that void was, if you saw our young people, and I mean, no fault of their own or their parents, they just were not exposed sometimes to the history, the rich history of how this community, how this state, how this country evolved. So it was what I consider to be a brave step on the part of the school district, a brave step on the part of this community, because they embraced it. They said, this is the right thing to do. And I'm so very proud.
See, once the idea for Blended Lives was accepted by the district as being one of their partners, we decided we would look at tying the curriculum to the Sunshine State standards and make sure the teachers would have an opportunity to teach the lesson prior to the students coming to each of the historic sites to do their visit. First year we didn't have all of the schools because we wanted to try to at least do a pilot to see how well it would work. But the second year, we were able to get all of the fourth grade students involved in the classroom instruction as well as doing the on-site visits. But the whole idea was to make sure that each year we had a new phase of history that we need to deal with and tie that back to the school system, and then the student had an opportunity to see history come alive, that's what I call it, and be active participants in that process.
I never felt that there would be a failure with this program, and I knew, along with the others, that this was a model. Nobody else is doing this. And as we've grown and brought on other partners and brought other places into the mix, we've had settings at the Florida A&M University. We put on a couple of our high school sessions there. We've taken these students, even now, some go to out-of-town trips, day trips, to see other heritage sites, all as an outgrowth of this program.
I'm so very proud that this program has really expanded, not just in this community, but it has been used as a model, quite frankly, all over this country and in other places of the world. So if you stop, pause for a moment, and you think just how impressive this is, the initial thought, the initial planning, but when it came together, everybody supported it, it really pulled together, and it has had such a tremendous impact on the lives of so many of our young people.
When Superintendent Munford decided to seek a higher position, different position, I had known the current Superintendent Pons for a few years, and also his assistant superintendent, I think it is Dr. Marvin Henderson. So I felt pretty comfortable that we would continue. The current school board had members on it that were familiar with the program as well. And from there it's been like what do you call it, a seamless transition really, because we haven't noticed any difference in the level of support, encouragement. It's just been this steady growth and support for the program to continue.
Well, I remember when I was first started out as a teacher and then a principal, I remember hearing about Blended Lives and how important it was not only to our school system, but to our community. The cultural diversity that it teaches our students and our community really is a positive thing for our school system. So I'm very excited about the program. I'm supportive, and I think it's one of the best programs we have in our system. I think what stands out is the historical perspective and making sure that our students understand what has happened in our community and how much we value cultural diversity and how important diversity is, and that this history here in Tallahassee is rich, and it's something that we want our students to know about. And right here with Blended Lives, the Riley House, all the different activities that are available for our students, it creates a great atmosphere, and we're very proud of it.
This year and last year, we have expanded and brought on a new partner that is in close proximity to the Riley House, which is the Historic Capital.
This year was the first year that the Historic Capital partnered with the Riley House and Leon County Schools. Ms. Altamise Barnes approached me and said that they were looking for another partner to join in the effort, and we were extremely honored to be able to join into this well-established program that had already made such an impact in the community, and have the opportunity to partner with these organizations that were well established.
Well, the museum had come on to this amazing partnership just as I was coming into my role as education coordinator, and I started working with our staff to really figure out how the Florida Historic Capital Museum was going to fit into this program that had been established, how we would work with the materials that we offer, the resource that we offer in terms of the historic space that the building occupies, and how to bring students into that and get them connected to the theme of this past year's Blended Lives, which was the Civil War years in Florida. I did work with the education staff from the Riley House, Leon County Schools, and some wonderful teachers here in Leon County to figure out what our curriculum was going to be, what the teachers could present in their classrooms, and the resources that teachers could use in the classroom that would help translate for the students as they came to the sites for their actual days visiting the museums. It was a really wonderful partnership. This was the first time our museum was going to be a part of the process, and the first time I was going to be a part of the process to really just learn about the established program that they've come up with and how we can fit into that. It was a great resource for us, and I think that we came up with a great curriculum this year, and I think the students had a great time visiting the sites.
And we see students now coming back after they have graduated from high school and they're in college and coming back to visit, and that's what you want. We have more parents participating in the process as well, actually coming on site and bringing their students back to the museums to make sure they get a in-depth kind of visit from the John G. Riley House Museum and the Goodwood Museum and Garden, and the new partner, which we're delighted to have, is from the Capitol Museum. So I'm delighted to still be a part of this process even after retirement.
We are already starting to talk about next year, and we hope to continue with the project for many years to come, and we are really excited about the partnership and being able to learn from the leaders like Ms. Barnes and Ms. Harris who got this started, and to, as Ms. Barnes said, pick up that baton and carry it forward. And as we move forward, I think we'll continue to think critically and creatively about how we can expand it and make sure that it's continuing to meet our goals and meet new goals.
If you watch what's happened to Blended Lives over the past 10 years, the history of the program, how much it's grown and how much it's being recognized not only in our city but throughout our great state, you realize that this program is going to continue to take off, and it's not just important to our community, it's important to the state of Florida.